Y'all know what it is. It's the usual suspect 650-50 draw. Buy your tickets now for your chance at winning half the pot. Cash App, $ usual 50-50. Tickets on sale for $10 for one, $20 for 3 tickets, and $50 for 10 tickets. Put your desired amount, name or alias, as well as your email address, and your tickets will be set. We announce the winning ticket numbers every other Friday on Supreme Beats Boxing Talk Bullshit on the Beltway, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Remaining proceeds will go directly to the LDBC meet and greet in Las Vegas. Shout out to the LDBC, and remember,
it's a usual suspect day.
Y'all know what it is. It's the Find the Boxer game. Purchase a box for a chance at winning $500. One of 54 boxes has a missing boxer inside. Purchase your box or boxes by Cash Apping $ usual 50-50. Include your box number, name, and email address. Your box number will be confirmed and sent directly to your email. Each box is $20 with a 1 in 54 chance of winning. Remaining proceeds will go directly to the LDBC meet and greet in Las Vegas. Shout out to the LDBC, and remember,
it's a usual suspect day.
We offer the best grooming cutters for you, That's all natural and handcrafted too. We wanna help be a swagger, style, class, and luxury. Make our products tailor-made for you with high quality, yeah. So get in style with the black, yeah. Company, give you swagger, style, class, and luxury, yeah. The black, gentleman, yeah. Company, give you swagger, style, class, and luxury, yeah.
Located at www.theblackgent.com.
Yo. What's good? It's Stormybman, and I am back. Welcome to the post-fight show for Navarette versus Suarez, the WBO Super Featherweight title that was just broadcast live on ESPN. The fight has come to a conclusion, a very unsatisfactory conclusion, where it was ruled to go to the cards after Navarette sustained a really bad cut over his left eye. The cut seemed to happen somewhere during the 6th round, and during the 5th round, because the 6th round. But there was a controversy whether or not the cut came from a clash of heads, or was it a Charlie Suarez punch. Highlights and replays seem to show that Suarez's left hook punch landed on the left eyelid, eyebrow of Navarette, causing a cut. And as their heads came together after that, it seemed to really open the cut up. So it's really unfortunate that the fight ended on this type of circumstance, but I have to say this was one of the most wild street fights in boxing that I've ever seen. These two guys were fighting like they were two drunks in the alley fighting over that last half pint, man. They were going at it. Very unorthodox, very just kind of shoot from the hip, from the shoulder, from the elbow, from the floor. And they were damaging both one another. Salute to Charlie Suarez, hailing from the Philippines, 36 years of age, came in there to really lay it on the line for trying to win a world title. And I know that Navarette and his people are going to bypass this man and not give him a rematch. And it's very unfortunate because he has earned at least a minimum of that through this affair. It was a scrape that was like something that every once in a while you need one of these, for boxing. It's okay. I don't want the entire sport to turn into something like this, but my goodness, was it entertaining while it lasted. You could hear the audience, you could hear the announcers getting all wrapped up into the action. Culminating, finishing off a day of boxing that I really enjoyed. I looked forward to this, and it was really gratifying. So welcome to the show, everyone. Please smash the like button as you come into the building. This is the second post-fight show of the evening. I had an earlier post-fight show where I talked about Kakachi versus Wood. And we'll talk a little bit about the Lubin and Holmes Jr. fight as well. But, man, when you could get a full Saturday of boxing, it's nothing like it. I've often said they could do this just like they do college football, spread these cards out across the day, with fights being outside the U.S. For the fights that were in the U.S., they still got to do better about scheduling them where they're running concurrently, because this evening it kind of worked out where you could see the end of the Lubin fight after the roundup for leading into the main event for the Navarette and Suarez. But I just really enjoyed the full weekend of boxing. Let's see who we got in the building here. Mr. Shelton's out there early. Chilltown Majors, Universal Truth, Drew Titan, Chilltown Majors, I said that, and King Fuses Lit House. This was definitely an action-packed bout. I can still see the dejection on Charlie Suarez's face, because he came to win this evening. I don't appreciate the doctor suggesting that this fight needed to be stopped when he stopped it. If you look at the screen where they're showing the replays over and over again of Suarez's glove scraping against Navarette's face, right there where it caused the cut. Let us not forget that Navarette is a top-ranked fighter. This was a top-ranked promotion. And when they decided to go to that commercial break, it gave them a chance to adjust the scorecards accordingly to make certain that when they came back and gave you a decision, that they would make sure that, or ensure that, Navarette was ahead. I had the round split. It would have behooved them to make this a draw based on how the action went, but I had it 3 rounds apiece. Yeah. And if you score the round where the cut happened, that round goes to Suarez, because that's when immediately Navarette was at a disadvantage. But you see what I mean? How they went to that extended commercial break, but when they did that, they kept the cameras live in the ring. So it's like there was no commercial playing on my end. There may have been commercials playing in other regions or whatever, but I was still listening to the guys talking and everything, and I'm observing that when they do that kind of thing, it's so that they can shuffle the deck. If you play blackjack or spades or anything, you know what I'm talking about. This fight screams rematch. Not because it was such a great fight, but because they need a real conclusion to this. It is not a shoo-in that Navarette can beat this man. It appears that Suarez is every bit as unorthodox as he is, and can pop too. I just don't like when the corruption aspect of boxing weasels its way right into things, and we have injustices such as what we're seeing here. They could have let that fight continue. As far as I'm concerned, we've seen fighters bleeding half to death. Remember Tyson Fury against Otto Walling several years ago? Fury was bleeding so bad I had buckets of blood at the bottom of my TV screen. I don't like when they do this, man. Someone mentioned Badu Jack when he had that head clash against Marcus Brown. His head opened up. It looked like a bloody dam with the way the blood was running out of the center of his forehead. I thought maybe he had hit an artery or something the way he was bleeding. Badu Jack. Tim Tszyu. They let him fight Fondora to the distance, and it was bleeding like crazy. So why save Navarette so you can give him a decision, which is unfair? The guy is an unorthodox fighter. He delivers exciting matches, but he's about as limited as a guy who would get in the ring with no arms. Just a bunch of foolishness, if you ask me. Salute, Shower. How you doing? Learn is in the building. What's happening, Learn? Yeah, they do this kind of stuff on purpose, man. And with purpose. Because what they're trying to do is they're trying to save somebody's career. Or extend it. You know? Yeah, that's right, Shower. That's exactly what it is. Unfortunately, but I feel for fighters like Suarez. He's giving an effort in there. He was going through some pain too, because those body shots Navarette was putting on him was hurting him, but that man was digging deep. He was biting down on that mouthpiece, and he was giving as good as he got. That fight deserved to end on a natural, conclusion. But they just continue to want to start this mess with these damn controversies, man. Salute to Rick Hill. He says, now they're saying it was a punch. They went to the super slow-mo. Why didn't they do that before they gave the decision? This is all by design. Absolutely. This is what I said a moment ago, speaking on the corruption of the sport, man. The corruption. That's what they do. They find ways to justify. But it's a bunch of foolishness, man. It's a bunch of foolishness. Eric Jordan, what's happening? Yeah, I didn't like it, man. I didn't like it. I didn't like what they were doing. And like I said, they went to that long break. I knew what that meant. You can pretty much always count on that. It's just like when a fight ends and it's a wash, right? One guy has won pretty much all of the rounds. Maybe one or two he didn't win, but he won all the rounds. The scorecards come in right away, don't they? Why, when the fight is close, does the scorecards take longer to tally? You're still turning in the same sheets, right? But they fiddle with the decision by changing shit. But when is the boxing public gonna get incensed about this? Because this is what they do. That doctor that said no, even though it was still bleeding a little bit, it wasn't running down like it was during the round. What was the excuse of letting the Tim Tszyu fight continue against Fundora? They wanted Fundora to be a champion, that's why. Tim Tszyu was bleeding way worse than that. It's really a bad situation. Bad situation. I didn't like that. I didn't like that at all. Man. But the fight was exciting. Them two guys, man. Nah, Steph Brown, the fight was exciting. The fight was a good fight. It was worth watching. It's how they handled the fight due to the cut. Rick Hill, he explained what they should have done, and they did it in the aftermath instead of doing it, you know, during trying to make a decision. They went to super slow-mo and they played it over and over and over again and realized that the cut came from a punch. And the ruling is, if the cut is caused by a punch and the fighter can't continue, he loses by TKO. Now do you understand why they saving Navarette? He loses by TKO to Suarez. And as Shareable intimated, hey, he can't even really make the weight anymore. 6 times he had to get on the scales before finally making the weight. 6 times. And I don't want to hear nothing about the weight cut and this and that. Listen, all of these guys that's having difficulty making weight because they're fighting at what I've always deemed artificial weights to begin with. You're fighting at so low of a weight class so you will have an advantage by rehydrating bigger than the guy who is really at the weight. Some guys are hydrating over 15 plus pounds. That's ridiculous. Boxing used to be same day weigh-in. You weigh in the morning, fight that night. They try to say it was the reduced brain injuries by cutting the rounds from 15 to 12 and then having the weigh-ins the day before. No, that was due to corruption, you guys. Because let me tell you how that works. Same day weigh-ins, guys were making, you didn't see guys missing weight a lot. Same day weigh-ins. That means that they're training and cutting down to the weight that they're supposed to cut to and rehydrating. You know, remember when it was 8 weight divisions, a guy who's fighting at 147, he might have weighed in at 144 like Tommy Hearns did when he fought Ray Leonard. So when he rehydrates, he's probably 150 something. But when you're fighting at the artificial with these multiple weight divisions, say 147, and you really should be at 160. But you can cut down to 147 and come in at 168. And odds makers and bettors, gambling, they have an inside track on that stuff, and that's how they get your money, when they get you to bet on the fights. You got guys coming in, like someone like Navarette. He don't like to push the dinner table back. That's what that is. He don't like to put his favorite beer down. That's what that is. He don't like to cut the weight. That's what that is. So the betting line plays with him. But 6 times to make the weight. 6 is a very rounded off number, isn't it? Not 4, not 5, huh? 6. Do you know what that number means in the entertainment business? I think I might be talking too much, so I'll stop it right there. Learn says, why does he still look out of shape cutting weight? Because he's not fighting at the right weight division. And he doesn't do his exercises. That's what it is. Shaw was asking, how long does it take for that type of cut to heal properly? Well, he'll probably have to have some kind of stitches or sutures there, Shower. So after that is complete, then you have 90 plus days. A cut is healing 1% a day. So 100 days, you figure you give 100 days for the cut to heal properly. No contact, anything like that. So in his instance, you know, a little over 3 months, 3.5 months. And you still need a certain amount of time for that to seal up, like after sutures and everything. But at a minimum of like 3 to 4 months, you know. Some people are fast healers. It's like if you cut your hand, you know, not where a vein is or something, but you get a little cut on your hand. Count the days of when it actually is healed. After 90 days, there'll still be some kind of discoloring around it, but it should be totally sealed up from when it was originally cut. Then it'll take another few months after that for you to get your color back around the cut. Queen 71, what's happening? Good to see you out there. No, Steph Brown. Suarez was giving him a fight, bro. That's why I'm telling you, watch the fight. Don't be so, listen, man, and I'm not coming at you, Steph. I just want you to understand. Don't be so quick to be dismissive of fighters that fight. We know that Navarette is unorthodox and everything, but with the guy he was in there with tonight, this guy was giving him a fight. And that's what you want to see. See, by turning it off, you kind of rob yourself of some great action, you know? And he was on his way, I thought, to losing the fight on the cut. Because it was a punch that caused the cut. They stopped the fight because they trying to preserve the guy. He's a top-ranked fighter. Top rank. Messenger 215, what's happening? J-Man, what's going on? Now, that Ray Maratala fight. Listen, I am very, very, very disappointed in Abdullayev because the fight was right there for him. And he didn't go for it. He stayed in a limited, engaged position where he didn't take any risk whatsoever. Now, Ray Maratala is an interim champion due to Vasyl Lomachenko being, I guess, a champion in recess because they say he's got a back injury or whatever. But there ain't nothing wrong with his back. There's something wrong with his ass, huh? He don't want to put it in the ring against these young contemporaries. That's all that is. And he trying to figure out a way to get out of this gracefully. But there is no grace when you in there and you mixed up in there and it's other people's time and season. Yours has passed. Just retire. That's the best thing you can do, because if you get in there with any of those other lightweights, they gonna put their foot so far up your ass, your breath gonna smell like shoe polish. Yeah. Yeah. Morataya was out there lackluster. He was posturing like he was trying to be tough and everything, but each and every time, and it wasn't frequent whatsoever, that Saud attacked him, he kind of shelled up. Abdulayev needs a different trainer and coach, because whatever they were telling him over there was not enough to get him a victory, because he never took any risks or gamble. You have to step outside of what you're doing comfortably and do something uncomfortable. You have to make the other fighter uncomfortable. And whenever he did let his hands go, Morataya was like on the defensive big time. I just didn't like his performance. He sucked. F+ for Abdulayev because he didn't try. He was in there, but he didn't try to go for the victory. It was unfortunate. Now someone else will beat Morataya's ass and he'll lose to them. You know, he's calling out what's his name? Murtazayev, whatever his name. No, that's not right. That's a different weight class. No, he said he was trying to wait for Loma. That's right. Loma ain't fighting that boy. Get in there with Keyshawn or Tank or Shakur. Stop messing around. These guys kill me. They don't want to go up there. They tried to ask him about one of the other fighters, and he, I'm not interested in that. I'm the #1 contender for Loma. Queen, he's fooled for a lot of people. He don't fool me at all. You know what he is? He's a front runner. They had to whip him like a jockey riding a horse in the Kentucky Derby when he was fighting Tevin Farmer. Robert Garcia's over there pleading with him to let his hands go and to fight and everything. And they gifted him the decision because I thought that Tevin Farmer pulled the fight out. Yeah, just a whole bunch of foolishness, man. I thought the Golden Boy fighters were weak. Top ranks fighters look weaker than anybody. They look like guys who've been gifted every damn thing. Gifted. Then you had the outcome of the Lubin returning to the ring against Andrea Holmes Jr. Lubin saved his own circumstances by stopping Holmes before the 12th. I think he stopped him in the 11th. Finally turned the heat up on the boy and took him outside of the fight, which was okay. But Lubin had been out of the ring for a long time, you guys. I talked about that in my breakdown video when he defeated Jesus Ramos. It was like they punished him for beating Ramos. Ramos was a PBC fighter, and they didn't like him defeating that young kid. He kind of stopped that train. He's the one that'll be in line for Murtazaliev. That's the guy at 154. Lubin looked little though, didn't he? He didn't look like a 154 pounder. Kind of looked like a welterweight to me, which was okay. Which that means and tells me is that he held his weight pretty good in between fights. He was more disciplined. I noticed that during the promotion of the event, they kept talking, in between the fights, showing him discussing, his career and the issues that he ran into. And I didn't realize he was so arrogant and bold about his position before he fought Charlo. But it looked like that was a rude awakening for him, which is okay. You live and you learn. Lessons. And Lubin said that he didn't attack Holmes early because of his ring rust and the time he spent outside the ring, so he wanted to kind of feel his way through some rounds. And that's okay. That's okay. But it was good that he didn't let that kid see the 12th round. For someone who considers themselves an uncrowned champ, you have to go out there and get rid of these guys. Got to go out there and get rid of. You can't be going the distance with them and everything. That's why I said Muratalla. He was supposed to go after Abdullayev once he recognized Abdullayev wasn't going to fight like that. And you could see Abdullayev's face was all jacked up. He looked like he had been sitting in a chair with somebody beating his face with brass knuckles. So yeah, it was a, good evening of bouts. That doggone Giovanni Santillan, man. that kid ain't gonna never learn. He gonna be just a punched on fighter. Cause the kid he was in there with this evening, he was better than him, but they ain't saying a lot. I told you Robert Garcia will have failed that young man again. Yeah, Shower, he was struggling. He was struggling mighty bad. And that kid was winning rounds against him. Beltran, I gave him more rounds than those judges did. It's just unfortunate that they don't do what they're supposed to do. It's like, man, this is foolishness, man, of the highest order. Well, remember I said that, Shower. I said it when it happened. He could have stopped that fight in between rounds. A couple of rounds before it finally ended and just told them, oh, my fighter's injured. We're going to stop it right here. And saved him from himself. But when you saw Norman Jr. finish him off and the way his body went limp, he got the fight beat out of him. You never want to see a fighter get the fight beat out of them. I've talked about that as well. It's a certain look that the body has when it withers. It's like you short circuit and you collapse. Today, earlier with Wood and Kakachi, Wood was headed toward that and Ben Davison threw the towel in there. Did you see that? See, one of the things that I'm going to tell you that Robert Garcia hangs his hat upon is that Mexican pride thing. It's like, but when you're coaching and training fighters and they have families and someone else outside the sport to go back to, you should always have that in your mind about preservation. And it's not just with Mexicans, it's with whomever as a coach and trainer you're coaching, you're supposed to have that. Where you recognize your fighter has run his limit. And when you recognize that he has run his limit, you're supposed to stop it before that point. You're supposed to be able to make that assessment. Your fighter could argue up and down. But years later, after he's retired and he's enjoying life outside the sport, he'll thank you for it. Yeah, but you know the irony about that though, Shower? When he fought, when Robert Garcia fought, he quit. Yeah, he quit. And he quit at an early age. Trying to get this. What the hell? I was trying to look him up on the salute to EJ in that Cash App. He said, spitting nothing but them facts, and say, yes sir, yes sir. I'm trying to, let's see, let's see here. Can't find him. Goodness. I'm sorry, I was trying to look him up. I can't find him right now. Why I can't find him, I don't know. Let me see. I think of another way to find him. Yeah, I think I found it. There we go. See, I went a different way and I was able to find him. So, got you. Now, with a record of 34-3, Robert Garcia had 37 bouts, 25 KOs. His last loss was one fight before the end, was against Joel Casamayor, and that was in 2001. That was January of 2001. He lost in the 9th round. But he had lost to Diego Corrales and Ben Tacky before that. His fight against Casamayor, he wanted to walk away, but I guess he came back for one fight so he could get a victory. Robert Garcia was a featherweight, super featherweight, and he was a decent fighter. But what I was trying to get at by talking about him is this. When someone started competing with him, he kind of gave it up. That's what I was trying to get to. So even against these fighters like Casamayor, Ben Tacky, and Diego Corrales, all worthy fighters during that era to challenge a world title holder, he kind of was like, oh, I don't have it. But it wasn't that he didn't have it. It's he knew his limitations. So as a coach and trainer, you need to have that for your fighters. He's not showing that for Santillan. Yeah, Shawa, I was looking for it on BoxRec, but when I put him in there, both as Robert and Roberto, it didn't come up for me. It came up with some guy with 1-0 record or something, 0-2 or some stupid little. It wasn't him. It didn't even have a picture of a guy. But I Googled him because I knew his boxing nickname was Grandpa. That's one of the reasons why he always stood out to me, is that even when he was a young fighter fighting, his nickname was Grandpa. Yeah, he was better than Mikey though. Shower and chat. He was a good fighter, you know. He was a good fighter. But sometimes these guys, I don't know. Well, it just goes to show that, you know, these things that I'm talking about, man, I pay attention to it all. He probably had a discussion with his little brother, Mikey, though. Probably told him, get out while you got some good money on you and everything. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. Well, yeah, great day of boxing. I enjoyed it up until that last foolishness that ended the Navarette and Suarez fight, because that fight was shaping up to be something exciting. And we need to see the consistency of how to handle these cut situations, because like that doctor stopped that. Why didn't they stop Tim Zuf's fight? Why didn't they stop Tyson Fury against Otto Wallin? Why didn't they stop Badu Jack against Marcus Brown? Why didn't they stop Bitterbeef against Marcus Brown? You see all these cuts, man, and stuff. It's like, come on. This doctor look at the cut and he's like, you know, I don't like those guys like that. They're so flaky. Because they're very inconsistent. But hey, you know, it is what it is. Now we can hear from my man, the Focus Ball, huh?
Get ready to take your striking game to the next level with
the focus ball. Dramatically improved footwork, timing, head movement, hand-eye coordination, reflex, and overall fight IQ. It's lightweight and extremely portable, so you can train every time, everywhere. When you don't have a coach to do mitt work, get a focus ball. When you don't have a heavy bag to hit, get a focus ball. When you don't have a sparring partner, get yourself a focus ball. And when you just want to have fun punching and kicking, get a focus ball. When you train with the focus ball, you train your eyes and your brain to read punches so that you can hit and not get hit. Making this very simple device a must-have for all combat sports athletes and enthusiasts alike. So if you want to take your striking game to the next level, don't wait. Get the focus ball now.
Yeah. So we come to the end of another post-fight show. It was overall another nice weekend of boxing. I mean, we get the bouts, but I try to tell everybody, hey, tune in, support the sport, you know. Everything is not gonna be peaches and cream, huh? It's not. But we can enjoy it for what it is. And sometimes there are going to be some surprises, you know. And that's okay. Sometimes there's going to be some surprises. But just know that there's going to be more fights coming up. Before the end of the month, we got a couple of good cards coming. And then we'll be in June. These days are going by so fast, though. I don't know if you guys are recognizing that like I am, but it's like the days are flipping like, my goodness. I kind of wanted to slow down a little bit. But it is what it is. I want to say thank you to everybody that tuned in and hit the like button for me. It's been a busy month of boxing for May, my goodness, with just 2 weeks into the month, we've had about 10 or 12 cards already. My goodness. And some people may say, well, it's been all those cards, but yeah, if you're watching what's happening on DAZN, they have fight cards on there, and all over the world. There's fight cards everywhere, man. So it won't be answering the bell show in the morning. It's Mother's Day. I put a post up on my page for the acknowledgement of moms all across the world. Whether your mother is still present or has moved on to glory, whether you never knew your mom, if someone had that role of mom in your life, if you are a mom, know that it's a day to take aside and show the love and respect for someone who birthed you into this world. Because life for the living is a gift. True that. And it is to be acknowledged and appreciated, though many of us do not. With that being said, I want to say shout out to the mighty LDBC. Have a good night.
entertain! Is this not why you were here?